My thoughts on fabrication. I'm gonna settle down for a minute and talk about fabrication. Out of all my years of fabricating and seeing all different types of fabricators out there, one of the biggest things about fabrication is, believe it or not, anybody, and even the smallest guy who's making a bracket for their overflow tank, something as simple as that, right? It's art. Everybody has their different levels of fabrication. And if I speak on a metaphorical way, it's as simple as the art person who's drawing a stick figure, and then somebody that produces the Mona Lisa on that level. So in a way, just the start of fabrication, even as simple as making a stupid bracket, that's fabricating. The idea behind fabricating is just like art. It all starts off even the littlest thing, and then you get addictive, because fabricating is much like art. Our canvas is the vehicle. Our paints, our paint brushes, our grinders, our welders. Everything about how it comes out is a different interpretation of how a particular person paints a picture of a woman or a building or anything that matter. Same thing with a vehicle. Fab is very artistic, and there is a right way to do it, but there's no exact way to do it. You know what I mean? There is, of course, the right way, which is structurally sound, visually pleasing, and done correctly. But you'll find that people fabricate in their own different ways, and you could tell somebody to build a bracket for the overflow tank, and you'll see hundreds upon hundreds of different ways to do it. Some of them aren't aesthetically pleasing. Some are amazing, just utterly amazing, from the welds to the brackets to all the pieces of metal. In a way, fabricators are sculpting metal, and it's amazing. I've had a number of fabricators that taught me in my life. Gary Steen, Paul Alabab, the late, and rest his soul, Sean Carlson. I've learned from the best, and you can learn a lot from looking at other people's stuff. And boy, it's artwork. It truly is artwork. People may think it's not artwork because it's just a car, an automobile, but what we do as fabricators is art. Some people won't like other people's art because it just looks completely heinous and ridiculous and isn't structurally sound. Other people's art, you can sit down and actually look at it. Sean Carlson is a good example of some amazing art. Mind you, I don't even call it fabrication; it's art. One of the current fabricators that I'm a fan of is Toxic Fab. Does amazing work. There's so many people that really take time in their work. One of the best artists I've ever seen was there's a guy out there in Gardena, sort of like a hermit, but he's the most, out of all my years involved in automobiles, the best fabricator I've ever seen in my life is Super Mario, and there's a reason why we call him Super Mario. The work is just amazing, but fabrication in general, in a nutshell, it's art. And in my opinion, these aren't fabricators, these are all artists. But FabLife does a good job in showcasing the best pieces of art, but put honestly, everybody's a fabricator in the smallest ways. The question being is the fabrication they do something that can be admired? You know what I mean? Something that people go, wow, that's amazing. Much the same way people look at a Vincent van Gogh or a Picasso and go, wow, their interpretation of this particular piece is just utterly amazing, where you can sit there for hours at a time and admire the fabrication. So that's my take. Art is fabrication.